Alright, time to get out of here. Go home. I'm off for the weekend. So for this ride home, I'm going to talk about the five perks and reasons why you should have a motorcycle. Now, a lot of people have done this, but it's cool to have different opinions and whatnot. So, reason number 5. Now, this one is kind of, what would be the word? It's kind of limited if you're in California, because it's lane splitting. And I'm going to put a snippet of me lane splitting right here. I lane split right now, speaking of which. Let's try. Oh, they're going. I'm going right in front of you, I'm sorry. Now, it's kind of a double-edged sword type of thing where it's really useful and it's really nice, but it's also scary too if you're not comfortable with your riding ability. Now, the perks of it is all over the place. It's faster, pretty much. If you look up traffic to somewhere and it says, oh, there's an accident here, or traffic is slow here, that doesn't apply to you. You just look at how long it'll take to get there, and that's how long it's going to take you. Which is really cool, especially when you live in a place like California where there's all this traffic. 2 is the safety aspect of it. Number 5, part 2, is the safety aspect of it. There's a picture of a, I wouldn't say it's a meme, but it's like a picture. It says, oh hey, we do this and it's a motorcycle lane splitting because you do this, and it's a crushed motorcycle that got rear-ended. And that's true. The biggest cause of accidents that aren't rider error in motorcycles is getting rear-ended. And it just eliminates that. People think, oh, you can't react fast enough, you can't just, it's different when you're doing it. When you're doing it, you can see and you're able to better anticipate than someone in a car can. And it's just an easy way to deal with things. You don't have to deal with traffic ever, and it's safer, and it's overall amazing. When it's not illegal too, which is great. Number 4. The reason why you should get a motorcycle is just how much money you would save over driving a car. Motorcycle, if my tank is completely empty, my 6-gallon tank is completely empty, it costs $14 to fill it up with premium gas, and that'll get me at least 250 miles. You compare it to a car, it's obvious. It's like 48 miles per gallon. Not only that, but you save a lot of money in other things. There's another California thing too, where if you have a fast track, or you're trying to get somewhere, you're allowed to go in the fast track lane. You're allowed to go into the high occupancy vehicle lane, and it's just cheaper overall with the gas. And sometimes bikes in general cost less than cars. Mine doesn't, because mine's awesome, but in general they do cost less. And it's just, you would save a lot of money with it. And not only that, this is the next number 3, which is kind of involved with 4, is parking. You can literally park wherever you want. And 99% of the stores you go to, and your stores and your restaurants, if you park up on the sidewalk, they do not care. They're just like, okay, yeah, it's a motorcycle, he can do what he wants. In some restaurants, like there's some places in Elsinore that have that have like actual motorcycle parking in the on the sidewalk that they save for the motorcycles, which is really cool. Number 2, that was 3. I can't count. 5 was coin splitting. 4 was the money you save. 3 was parking. 2 would be just in general, it's all the people that you meet, all the people you ride with, and all the friends and families that you make while riding, which is pretty cool. There's so many people who I talk to now who I'm really close with now, who I only know because we both ride motorcycles. And that's like an invaluable thing. Of all the motorcycles, that's one thing that like you can't get anywhere else. It's kind of like any group, any sect of people, if they do the same thing, they're always there for each other. Same thing with motorcycles. Now I know sport bike riders and Harley riders butt heads sometimes, not really so much anymore, but they used to do it a lot. Yeah, but any motorcycle rider will help another motorcycle rider out if they're worth anything as a rider. Number 1 reason why you should get a motorcycle, it's fun. I hate always, as a child, even as an adult, I always hated being in the car. I hated going anywhere. I hated being in the car for a long period of time because it just wasn't comfortable to me. I hated being in an enclosed space and sitting there for however long I need to. For an hour, there's 2 hours, 50 minutes. I just hated it. And now the motorcycle is like, oh hey, you want to go to San Diego? It's like, yeah, sure, let's go right now. Also, it's really fun because, like, for example, like bigger extent, I hate roller coasters. And you would think that would be counterintuitive, wouldn't make any sense because I ride a motorcycle. But the difference is, since you're controlling it, it makes it a lot more fun. It makes it way more fun to be able to make those movements happen yourself than rather have someone else choose for you. Because you know when you're gonna accelerate, when you're gonna decelerate, when you're gonna turn, when you're gonna brake. You can do all that yourself, and you're the one controlling that, which makes it really fun. And it's like if you like riding bikes downhill, you will love riding a motorcycle. It's pretty much that constantly. No one likes riding bikes uphill in 6th gear, 1st gear, whatever, I don't even remember. And your legs are dying, you just hate everything. Motorcycle is just like going downhill, but it's like you're constantly going downhill wherever you go. It's propelling you. I've met very few people who didn't like motorcycles and rode on one and then still didn't like it. My sister being one of them. But I think it's more because it was her first time she didn't like it, but I'm sure she would like it if she did it consistently. Or if she had her own bike and she was doing it herself, she would like it. Overall, I mean, like, how fun it is just ridiculous. Like 2 years ago, if you tried to get me to go outside and it was over 80 degrees, I'd be like, no, you're crazy. But if it's like 103, I'm like, yeah, let's go ride right now, I don't care. Because you're out the wind in your face, you're having fun while you're riding, and it's just great overall. You have like a little rocket that goes on the ground that you're controlling, like you're just going and riding around, like it's fun. And it doesn't take that much to do. It's not hard to do. You have to have certain qualities about yourself to do it efficiently and safely, but it's nothing that if anyone decides they want to ride a motorcycle, they can do it. They'll be able to do it with a little bit of practice. Because I think it's easier than riding a bike personally, because the balance is so much easier. It's heavier than a bike, it's more dangerous than a bike, but it's easier to do than a bike, because there's no physical effort involved. It's just, you just use the throttle, use the clutch, you shift your gears, The only thing that's even kind of slightly weird at all is the countersteering, which you get used to and it becomes second nature anyway. Like, even the clutch and the shifting, I can't drive a manual car still. I don't know why. It's just I just can't do it. Well, I haven't tried in a while, but most recently I tried it. I cannot drive a manual car, but I was able to get a motorcycle fine. And so 2 days at the MSF course was plenty, and I was able to go get on another motorcycle and ride no problem. But the countersteering, that was kind of weird because it's like you turn the wrong way to switch lanes. And a lot of people think that you lean and all that. If I lean left or right, it doesn't really do anything. But if I put my turn signal on, put my hand flat on and push, I move over this way. Same thing, if I turn signal on and push it the other way, I go to the left. But it's all just not really a natural thing, but it's instinctual. But most of the time right now, you can't move the bike and make it veer by shifting your weight like I was doing most of that time back there. But most of it, it's just moving the handlebar slightly will do it for you half the time. By just barely touching it, I'll be able to shift lanes very easily. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's 5 reasons to get a motorcycle, 5 perks of riding a motorcycle. It's all link that video here.